Your 14-day trial starts now, but there are a few housecleaning items to attend to before you dive in fully. Please follow the steps to the right of this video to complete the environment setup. It is highly recommended that you complete each step to get the most out of the experience. I promise you, the 10 minutes tops is well worth the effort. The remainder of this video is a walkthrough for the required environment setup steps. Step 1 is to update the email addresses for users, leads, and contacts that are included in this environment. Remember, confirmation of email changes required for user records. Make sure the email address used is valid and accessible. Click Update Emails. If the process is successful, you'll notice Step 1 changes to Email Updates Complete. Remember to validate the email change on your user record by checking that email address. Moving on to Step 2, DevHub Settings. Using the link below, we'll navigate to the DevHub settings and turn a few things on. First off, we want to make sure DevHub is enabled. You can opt out of the sandbox expiration emails if you so choose, and turn on any other features you might want. Step 3, creating sandboxes. In this step, we actually have to create a sandbox template and then some sandboxes. Using the link here, we'll navigate to Salesforce Setup, and we'll start by creating that sandbox template so we can make a partial. When this screen loads, simply put in all for the name and click the checkbox to select all objects in the system. Save the sandbox template. With the template in place, we can actually request the sandboxes from Salesforce. On the Sandboxes tab, click on the New Sandbox button. We're going to make at least 2 developer sandboxes and utilize the one partial copy Salesforce gives us with this environment. We'll start with the developer editions. With whatever name you want to use, enter it in the name field and click Next. For the sandbox access, go ahead and choose Release Managers. Your user is part of that group. Click on Create, and do the same process again to request a second developer type. Changing the name, clicking Next, and again selecting the Release Managers for the sandbox access. With the 2 developer editions requested, let's move on to requesting our partial copy. Click on New Sandbox again. Go ahead and call this partial to make it easy, and then use the Next button under the partial copy entry. This time, we have to use that sandbox templates we just created. Go ahead and click on the radio button for all. Let the page load. Scroll to the bottom, and go ahead and choose All Active Users this time, and then click Create to finish the process. Keeping in mind, this can take Salesforce anywhere up to 2 hours to complete, but this step is now done. The final step is your Scratch org settings. We're going to enable an org shape. This allows Prodly to use some of the Scratch org functions that exist in Salesforce. Click here to access the Scratch org page in Salesforce Setup. The first thing we need to do is actually enable Scratch orgs entirely for the DevHub. Then we actually need to get our Salesforce org ID to place in this field. The easiest way to do so is to look for company information. Go ahead and open that in a new tab, and that org ID is right here. Copy that, paste it here, and hit save. With this saved, we have the ability to actually enable Scratch org snapshots. This should be enabled as well. That's it for environment finalization. Please refer to the Prodly free trial usage guide for your next steps. Thanks again, and as always, don't hesitate to reach out with us with any questions you may have.